Hello, 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 good night. I am running a few minutes late, but I don't know. Is it better to be late than never, or better to be late than to be sorry? Whatever that saying is. I don't know. Anybody wants to join us tonight? I feel like man, let me put on my clothes good, but what the heck? Well, don't look like nobody joining us tonight, so I could just go and talk to myself like we're idiots. Well, I talk to myself all the time like I'm an idiot. uh, Anybody with us? Heal up Geneva, heal up all. All right, where we at? Let's see if we can get this ball rolling. There are so many things to discuss tonight. I don't know if we'll be able to, but let's get into it and see if we can, do some things tonight. All right, let's take just 2 minutes to say good night. Good night, Sharon, Electra, East Portland. Good morning. It's good morning. Portland must be a different state. All right, it's morning already in Portland. Good morning, Portland. I don't have a problem with that. Good night, Brown Eyes. All right, Princess, you're here for the aura. All right, I hear you. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Let us see if we can start so that we can get through as much of this as we possibly can. All right, everybody with me? How you doing? You all good? Everybody fine? Everybody rolling? Everybody good? I feel unprepared, but I'm going with it. I just going with it to see how it's going. So a lot of news tonight. A lot of news. Certainly 2 news out today, and we're going to see if we can quickly. I know that when I tell everybody already, I can't plan past a week. I don't know how to plan past a week. It's just too much for me. So I stay within that, and most days I go like plan 2-3 days ahead and stuff. So this I put out the live promo on a Monday now, not on a Sunday, because I'm planning like 24 hours. That's it. And there is a lineup of things that I plan to talk about tonight, and that will not change. PJ will not change it. Lawrence Rowe will not change it. But there are things that both gentlemen thought for themselves that they should mess up my life tonight and come out with something. So let's talk about the last thing that dropped first. Let's spend a couple of minutes on that. And the last thing that dropped was Lawrence Rowe and theme excitement again. And let me just make it clear, because I am where I am with that. Me and everybody are on the same page where Lawrence Rowe is concerned. Lawrence Rowe do what he do, and some of it helping the resistance, helping our agenda, and anything that helps our agenda, I welcome it, fine and proper. But I really don't understand what is it that Lawrence Rowe is doing. I don't understand it, and I suspect him alone understand what he do, and whatever it is that he is doing and how it's going to impact him. But I want to say a couple of things. One, I read the mayor's statement, and the mayor has many advisors, I would imagine. And if I was to say anything about the mayor's statement, I would say the mayor does need to let his statement speak for himself and say nothing else on this matter, no matter what else Lawrence Rowe put out. Because Lawrence Rowe is on a different little thing for himself. And while I recognize that there might be some kind of correlation between different forces with the Lawrence Rowe issue in order to get a particular kind of momentum or narrative going towards the election. It's election season, it's a silly season. Anything that comes your way, you use it. That's just how it goes. There's no two way about that. So if there's some correlation between some media personalities and Jamaican Labour Party personalities, along with Lawrence Rowe, in order to achieve a certain goal with all of that, fine, it's politics, let it play out as it should. However, I don't know what Lawrence Rowe endgame is, and if it is that his endgame is to be used by the JLP to run as an independent candidate in Central Kingston, which I have no particular problem with, then that strategy in itself, in terms of what he's doing and how he's doing it, is beginning to backfire on him, and it really having the opposite result of what it really should have. In other words, I don't think he's doing himself any favor in terms of the voters and the citizens of Central Kingston. And that's a feeling that I am getting. I could be wrong, but I don't think him doing himself any favor in that respect. As a matter of fact, I think that unless him come up with something that can totally destroy McGregor and totally destroy Mark or Dayton, I don't think that he'll have any impact with all of this on the Central Kingston constituency and where it's going. And chances are, based on all that he's doing now, McGregor might very well win. And here's why I say that. Lawrence Rowe fancies himself a political tactician. Me, I just fancy myself to be a polished politician. That's all. And I know politics, and I know the ground operation of politics. And I figure that if he continues on this trajectory in terms of, this drip, little things, and every week or every other week, every 2 weeks him come up with something, then sooner or later, and maybe it has already started to happen, where there are or might be a group of people correlating around McGregor, because if Lawrence continues this as it is without a precise end game in sight, that we can connect what he's doing to that, then there's going to be a correlation of money people around McGregor, and everybody that have an extra $10, extra $20 is going to correlate, and I'm going to give it to him, and that will have the adverse effect of what Lawrence is hoping for based on what he's doing now. So I don't know, maybe he is a tactician and he knows better than me. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I don't know. But the way I see it now, it has in the opposite effect, and it's going to backfire on him at some point, because it's not going the way that it should be going. Because there are people in Central Kingston who really did support Lawrence and would have wanted him to win the seat. Them not like this route. So I don't know. And if he should decide that he's going to run as an independent, while 2-3 weeks ago he could easily probably get 1,000 votes, if he run as an independent going on this trajectory, he couldn't get no more than 300 votes and McGregor would win. So I don't know, maybe him knows something that we don't know. But as we said already to everybody, Lawrence Rowe on his own thing, from the moment that he was named candidate for Central Kingston, the next day Dayton Campbell started telling people that he's not going to be the candidate. And from that day forward, he has been recording conversations with people of importance, according, if you take what he's doing as a... Now that is a sleazy, nasty attitude of some people, to record people. And politicians never used to be fearful of being recorded until the advent of WhatsApp, and all of those things came about, But it is such a sad thing in the politics that you can't talk up the phone. I said to a big PMP person that called me in the evening, early evening, and talking about not talking certain things on the phone. I said to them, I don't understand. When did that become a thing? Where you can't have a from when phone there in Jamaica, and you can't have a conversation on phone because you're afraid that you'll be recorded. The FBI will pick it up, the CIA, all kind of things will happen, so you can't say what you have to say on the phone. Well, the only reason that one would be afraid to say what you want on the phone is if you're planning to do all illegal activities. So there you go. So I'm not afraid to talk anything I have to talk on the phone. I will say it. And if you want to record me, fine, and release the recording. And the way you want to do is neither here nor there. Anything I say, I'm going to repeat it, and that is that, and that is how it goes. So I don't know if Lawrence was achieving this, but I do understand the politics. And I do understand the correlation between him and some other forces to push this, to make it look bad on the PNP. And I don't believe that Lawrence particularly want to go after Mayor Swaby. But Mayor Swaby is a conduit to Mark Golding and Dayton Campbell to release whatever else he might have that might affect Dayton Campbell or Mark Golding, and Mayor Swaby is a conduit. Him putting out the statement demanding that Mayor Swaby do this and Mayor Swaby do that. Mayor Swaby have no obligation to do anything that Lawrence will ask him to do. Nothing at all. He issued a statement. The Jamaican people already make up their mind that this is a corrupt activity when they heard Dayton Campbell's voice on the phone instigating and planning to commit a crime. And therefore Jamaican people say them corrupt, them dirty, them forgot jail. The mayor not on this voice note now and combine it with Dayton voice note now kind of put some things in perspective for the Jamaican voters. The politics is entirely about perception, not about facts, not about truth, entirely about perception, how people see that truth, if it's a truth, or how people want to look at that lie and decide that it's a truth because they perceive a particular thing. The politics and its perception is that it is corrupt, and pretty much everybody in the corrupt. So when these things start coming out, people made a decision about it long time, and that's basically what it is about. And that's that. So I don't think the mayor need to address anything else about this matter. Lawrence Rhodes can continue on him path, whatever path that might be, and I'm sure some of it might be helpful to our mission. And for me, the only important thing in all of this is the mission, which reminds me, so I'm going to just leave it at that with that. I don't think the mayor needs to address anything else. The mayor put out a statement, and if I was him, and as I said, them not really chat to I, but if I was him, anybody asks me not to refer them to the statement. And I know it's a correlation between a whole heap of people, because the media has been hinting at this all week, or at least once George said something strange. So we know. But as I say, it's politics. So anything to help the cause is good for me. I'm good. I'm good with it. But I don't think the mayor need to go any further with Lawrence Rowe and him thing. But Mark Golding is out and about. He flew in with Angela on her broom this morning, visiting the wonderful, lovely children at Haile Selassie and talking with the wonderful, lovely teachers and staff at Haile Selassie. Him and Angela. So I'm flying for Angela broom. I'm hitch a ride with Angela for her broom. So the white man and the witch, what a combination. And them landed at Haile Selassie High School, and they talked to students and stuff. I said to three teachers, I said to them, tomorrow morning when you go to school, ask the children who came to visit them. Because I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, that the children them go home. Not the ones that are politically in tune because them live in a political house. They will probably know. But a majority of those students will go home and tell them parents that one white man came to the school. And the parents are asking, which white man? The white man, the white man. Which white man? The white man were in the PNP. So my guess is the PNP, they go home and tell them parents that the white man went at the PNP, him come this morning. Nobody's going home and tell them parents that the leader of the opposition or the president of the PNP came. Not a soul. Because somebody don't know him. Not a soul don't know him. And him just, riding for Angela Broom, and the two of them go about and do them little thing and they pick them. It is going to be very interesting when I get back a report tomorrow, what the kids say when them ask them. So we had a visitor yesterday. Anybody remember who that visitor is? And Jamaican Black Fitness State. Them not pay him no mind, them don't know him. None of them don't know him, except maybe for the bigger students in household that are political, and there's always political, and them probably see him picture and pay attention. Otherwise, they might refer to him as the white man. The white man that come down to the school and him talk to you and start there looking like a damn ass, and him come down to the school. But let's stay on Mark a little bit before we move on to the great Percival Noel James Patterson. Mark has been kind of missing since Sapphire licked him down. I mean, since Sapphire licked down Mark, he has been basically low-keyed. Him going to some little constituencies out of some places with people, but him still low-keyed because Sapphire licked him down and he can't recover. Now, I got an interesting take on stuff. When the Damian Crawford presentation, Mark Golding apparently was supposed to go walk with Damian. And he didn't turn up for the walk. So there is this fellow who used to be a resistance by the name of Alvern July. Ah boy, now I'm going to think him big like I'm going to call him name. Backside, why did I do that? By the way, July said, you know, Mark didn't get to walk with Damian because Mark was walking from 9 in the morning trying to reach Damian, and the crowd was so big he couldn't reach Damian until night. That's what them say. But the truth of the matter is, Mark never gonna walk with Damian because Mark made it crystal clear to them that him no want to walk with Damian in brethren. He did say Damian and brethren, you know. He did. I'm saying not gonna walk with him. He not gonna walk with him. Why? Because Mark said I watch one show up on Netflix. So I can't bother leave him show up on Netflix and go walk with Damian because that too much. He will come later. I'm go later, man. I can't bother leave me show. I watch a show up on Netflix. Look like Mark I watch Netflix from Sapphire lick him down. But it's a comfort thing for Mark. And him go watch Netflix and then him go take a little walk somewhere, walk about with somebody, him go back in, go watch Netflix. Mark there not with the body. Mark look like him one guy in yard actually. Mark look like him out to pack up him marble and roll up him kite and say, I am done play, me I go home and I play no more. That's what it look like to me. You know? And him look, you know, flimsy and kind of away. Now, down at Damian, down at Damian's presentation, KD Knight was introduced to the comrades. Oh yeah, no, he doesn't. KD Knight was introduced to the comrades to speak. And we're going to get back to this, but I just want to mention it because it just come back in my mind a while ago. And KD went to the stage and he took the mic. And I want to remember exactly what KD said. KD did the salutations that you do at these things. Comrade Chairman, and by Comrade Chairman, he's referring to the person who is currently chairing the function. So he pays his respect. Comrade Chairman, Comrade Party Leader, and when he said Comrade Party Leader, the sound or the sound of silence, really not silence, but just a few Vevazula and a few little Ray. I mean, when you're at a public meeting and you present Damian, who is, as they say, the great black hope, and then you have the white leader, and a man like KD Knight. Look at the combination. Simply, look at the combination. That's a mighty PNP combination, you know. KD Knight, Damian Crawford, and the party leader. So by the time KD said, comrade leader, the place supposed to tear down and mash down and build back. Very few Venezuela blew when KD said, comrade leader. But that's not the reason why I'm telling you that. The reason why I'm telling you this is because then KD went on to say, comrades on the platform, including the GenSec. Now, let us pause for a minute and listen to this. Comrade Chairman, Comrade Party Leader, comrades on the platform, including the GenSec. KD never thought it necessary to give the salutation to the General Secretary in the way that you greet the General Secretary. So you say, comrade chairman, comrade party leader, comrade party chairman, comrade general secretary, all other officers, comrades on the platform, that kind of thing. KD, and I believe deliberately, said comrades on the platform, including the GenSec. It never even, you say general secretary, the GenSec. What does that say? That suggests to me that KD have no regard for the GenSec. That suggests to me that KD was reeling from the days before events of the General Secretary of the People's National Party on audio conspiring to commit a crime. That, all of those things combined together led a senior member of the People's National Party to refer to the General Secretary as comrades on the platform, including the GenSec. What a lick down blow. What a downgrade of General Secretaryship. We're going to get back to that because we're going to get back, as I said, and I'm changing the live and what I plan on tonight. So we're going to get back to all of that soon because we might just read another letter from another underage child that said that Dayton Campbell abused her sexually and raped her. So we'll get into that soon. Percival Noel James Patterson. And I should tell you, I'm not going deep on Percival tonight because I'm going to do a video tomorrow. You'll get it tomorrow evening. A detailed video where I'm going to totally destroy Percival Noel James. I promise you, I'm going to destroy him. But Percival Noel James Patterson used to fancy himself to be Mr. PNP because his name Percival Noel Patterson. So, Mr. PNP. PJ Patterson is an agent of the devil. Let me repeat to you. PJ Patterson is an agent of the devil. And agents of the devil believe themselves to be immune to the wickedness and evil, lecherous ways of the devil. When you work for the devil and you perform so well for the devil, you start believing yourself to be invincible. The devil. So the devil now start use you to achieve bigger things. And then when you feel like you are up there and you're in the power and they're going to make you in party, him start bring it on back. So here what happened to this agent of the devil. Senior agent. PJ Pan is a senior agent to the devil. Here what happened to him. Him up at Uhuru, having nothing to do. And a couple weeks ago I did a video. Or days, maybe a week ago or so. I did a video when I said that nobody can help Mark. And I was inspired to do that video because PJ Patterson and Peter Phillips allowing the rise organizers, particularly Dayton Campbell and Angela Bromberg and Mark Golding, to use them to go out in the public, go say stupid things and do stupid things and look stupid. And in that video, I made the point that PJ Patterson in particular don't have a clue what's happening out here. Don't have a clue. If don't understand what's going on in social media, him think social media is Facebook and WhatsApp and whatever. Him not understand that the general public in Jamaica and around the world are getting various information from various places, including the dark web, including some really deep, dark places in social media circles. I mean, who would have thought that after we have been taught that, Mary, the Virgin Mary, gave birth to Christ. Joseph was her husband. Poor Joseph never got it and him say a him take it anyway because them convince him to take it. If Joseph quite well knows it's a jacket, but him thinks he might do something noble, so Joseph take it. And that's what we were taught. Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary. He was born in a manger. And they tried to kill him from before him born. They look for Mary and Joseph to kill the two of them. Then they look for Jesus to kill him. We were taught that. But since the advent of social media, PJ would be amazed to know how many people in social media circles, not just YouTube and Facebook, some other dark, deep places, some places me now mention to the coming on what they say, I got them place of a look. And who would believe that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people talking about there's no God? And yes, we might have known that there were people saying that there's no God from the beginning, but these people go deep. They provide information, they provide evidence of evolution, they're talking about how the earth came about. I mean, these people put across powerful arguments to suggest to us, Christian people, that there is no God. I want the PJ know that. But I want the PJ know that millions of people watch them. And millions of people believe them. Does it change the 1.3 or 1.4 billion Catholics in the world? I don't believe that. Does it have any impact on the hundreds of millions of evangelicals in the world? I don't believe that either. But there is still a audience for things like that. So I tell PJ in that video that I put out, said nobody can help Mark, that he need to just stay quiet and stay in them corner and don't come out here and don't say nothing because he don't understand what I want. He don't. Man is almost 90. Walking with a cane because after him to drive all the years of his life, him decided at 70 something or 80 something. And the man decided that he might take up himself and he might come out here. And because him sit down in there, when he orchestrated the takedown of the PMP, PJ Patterson orchestrated that. And you might hear us talking about it, and you don't know the full story about it, and I'm going to tell you tonight, but let me just give you a synopsis. When he decided to leave, he should have left a term before that. That was the arrangement with him, that he would leave after 2 terms. But he did not. He wanted to break records, and he did. Became the first prime minister to win a 3rd term. And after that, him feel invincible because he's a senior agent of the devil. And he decided that him staying on and him go out with all kind of things. And when he decided to leave, that senior agent of the devil stood up at a PMP NEC meeting, announced his departure, and announced the time to elect a new leader 1 year from that day. 1 year. Unprecedented, unimaginable. 1 year he announced that. And we knew from then what his plans were. To keep Peter Phillips out of the leadership of the People's National Party. To prevent Peter Phillips from becoming Prime Minister of Jamaica. Why? Because his corruption started before he was Prime Minister with the Shell waiver scandal. We're going to go through all of them in the video tomorrow. You know. His corruption started before he became Prime Minister with the Shell waiver scandal. Him and Horace Clark and him body them and him friend them. And at that point, his political career should have been finished. Michael Manley demanded his resignation. He refused to resign. Him gather around himself. They call themselves the black powerful black men in black crew. Remember him thing Black Man Time? We're going to get into that too. Black Man Time thing. And him gather them around him. And all of them decide, say, all right, Peter Phillips went up to his house at Euro. And Peter Phillips sat there in the couch. And the whole of them did egging Peter Phillips, giving Peter Phillips help. because Peter Phillips came with the letter for PJ to sign. Because other people went with the letter and them run them back. And Michael said to Peter Phillips, go up there and get the signature. Peter Phillips sat there in his house. And Peter Phillips tell him in no uncertain term, I'm not leaving here until I get the signature. So they carry feelings of Peter Phillips from that day forward. So everything that PJ did from that day forward was to ensure that Peter Phillips does not become Prime Minister of Jamaica. And he was successful. And after he did that, put that 1 year thing, he did the next thing. Him got a bomb and him asked, him finance Omar Davis to become regional chairman for Region 3. That it would be easier for him to get into the fray of running for party leader because he would have been established as a regional chairman for about a year, 2 years, maybe, I don't know, remember. But that was how the plan went. And the whole thing was just to make a spoiler to ensure that Peter Phillips don't win. PJ Patterson is a senior agent of the devil. And when Portia won, he thought that he was going to stay up a Uhuru and him going to run things from behind the scene, because men that have power don't like to lose the power. And when the power has slipped away from them try and find ways and means to hold on to some of it, to be influential, to be a part of it, to say that they have some influence on it. That never worked either. When Mark Golding became leader, he went to the NEC meeting and he pronounced at the NEC meeting that, he's responsible for Mark being there. And that is what kicked off the war between we and him. He admitted, he made a great confession that he is responsible for Mark being there. At first, we thought it was just him saying that him encouraged Mark to run, or him saying that Mark should be the leader, or from Omar Davis was down in South St. Andrew, him and Omar and Mark was talking about Mark being leader. At first, we thought that. But then we start look at it again and we realize it was way before that. Way before that, after I'm done pronounce black man time, then him go forward and start write a white man time. And he said, Mark, being leader of the PNP, it's his destiny. And the wicked things that they did to Peter Phillips, him, PJ Patterson. Bunting also admitted, and some other people admitted, that PJ Patterson was the one who told Bunting he should run. Because if Bunting run, it would damage Peter Phillips, whether he win or lose. So PJ has been that senior devil agent behind the scene all the time, pulling all of those strings. And so, being up a you would have nothing to do. The devil sat down with him. And the devil said to him, yeah man, help Mark. Help Mark, and Mark them will know says you help them, and if you help them and become leader, you have a whole lot more power. I promise you, you're going to get this, and they're going to make you do this, and they're going to make you be that, because they're going to say, you make them win, so help him. Go out there, man. Beat down the government, man. Go fling 2 stones out from Mr. Oldest, because Mark will reward you, and you're going to have power again. Yeah, man, they're going to say, PJ, and they're going to say, we say PJ. And the devil that, in his ears, I tell him all of that, because the devil saw that as a senior agent of evil, he think himself indispensable, so the devil is about to take him down now, because he don't understand how the job will take on from them days there. That it was a job that was nothing to do with him, it's just a job for him to do to make the devil feel good. So he start believing that him and the devil are quabs. So that's why the devil up there whispering in his ear, go out the man, go. Lick down all this, go pump the all this, go talk about the road that we have built, go talk about the infrastructure, go talk about help, go out the man, Mark will help you, help Mark, help Mark. Mark must help you, because they're going to say, you make Mark win. And the devil, how many of us have experienced the devil whispering in our ears? How many? Of course all of us have experienced the devil whispering in our ears. When somebody tell you, that's your mama, and you see a knife in front of you, take it up, and the devil say, yeah man, go stab him, I shouldn't tell you about him, go stab him. How many? We have all that experience. But if you're not a senior agent of the devil, you don't succumb to those kind of temptations. But PJ is a senior agent of the devil. So he decided that him reach a particular stage now as a senior agent, and the devil are telling him to go on out there. And after I warn him not to come out here, but tell him so out there dangerous. But tell him so out here is a dangerous place. Not come out, stay up there. Stay in your chair. Don't go nowhere, don't do nothing, don't set up and just stay where you're there. He decided that he's going to take a step and him come in and him come out. And as him come out, somebody lick him now and go right back in. Right back in. So, that's all I'm going to say about PJ tonight. But stay tuned for that video. You will get it tomorrow night sometime. So I suspect. Alright? Now, those two things take up quite how much time those two things take up? My God, 36 minutes. So those two things take up, Lawrence Rowe and PJ take up 36 minutes of the time. And I'm going to go into what I came here to talk about. And let us understand this thing. Out of everybody, those who were resistance and then become risers, those who were resistance and then said, why am I going to support my party? Those who were resistant and them left the thing and them gone go do something else. And those who are still resisting, of everybody else, I am the only person here who have never lost focus, never take my eyes off the ball, now get distracted by some old parade. I am attracted to anything that will help the cause, because our cause is just. Our cause is about Jamaica, not about the political party and the political movement. It's about Jamaica and the Jamaican people. It's about me. It's about my grandson. It's about the community. It's about the people that I care about. This land, Jamaica, this land, about us. And I'm passionate about that deep. I'm not taking no prisoners when I talk about that. And I will do whatever it takes to make sure that Mark Golden and the people them understand that this is not Funo Jamaica. The kind of Jamaica where Uno propose, people don't want that. That is devil worship in Jamaica. I would have depend that with them. So I'm staying focused. So I want to say Claudette Jackson records. So last week I don't know that I thumped up Claudette a little bit because she had talked about, talking about Vegas this and Vegas that, and then she left the word crosses, and I took it to be me she talking to. As I understand it, it's not me she talking about. And I accept that. Claudette, you say it's not me, I accept that. But still I not take back the thump up because of Vegas you attack. And if you're going to thump Vegas, I'm going to take it on because guess what? Vegas are one away. Yes, we're upon the same train. We are ride the same bike. We have our focus squarely on Jamaica and what kind of country we want going forward. Yes, so Vegas is one of which I'm not take it back, but I understand I take the fact that it's not you, and we're cool. Now, there's a young lady named Sheena Stubbs Watson. I hope I have her name right. And as far as I know, she's representing Dayton Campbell. Now, Miss Sheena, I don't come here to beat you up. You're a lawyer. You get a job. You're going to take the job because it's your job. But all I know female lawyers who love take on pedophiles as a client. I don't understand, but that's another thing for another time. But I hear Miss Sheena saying that she wants a 48 hours, she wants an apology from Vegas. And they are going to assess damages from Vegas. Now, Miss Sheena, come here a second. 1 minute, ma'am. I'm not quarreling with you, but I want you to hear me. Good, Miss Sheena. Because as I said before, Miss Sheena, where we depend, you don't understand. So it is my duty to come out here and explain it to you. Not to beat you up and quarrel you and disrespect you. Not doing that. I just want to explain it to you, Sheena, that you're representing a serial pedophile. And in representing him, you're trying to tear down one of Jamaica's fine artists. Now, Vegas went out without prompting. From the moment Dayton said was sued, Vegas went out on advice of his lawyers and his family, and he said he apologized and he's sorry. And him take down the things and him take it back. and all the rest of it. So that's what Vegas did. Now, having done that, you now come out as a lawyer, chatting some kind of foolishness that you want him to apologize again in 48 hours, and you're going to assess damages after him apologize. Machina, which law school you went to? Because I can tell you this from experience, that if you should proceed to go tell Vegas that him should apologize again, and you have assessed damages for an apology that he issued before you asked him to, over court you going night, Miss Judge Artines or Judge Althea Jarrett, which court you go? Because I don't know how you're going to explain to the court that the man put out something. The next man when put out something about, go out and say I'm going to sue him. The man then went out and apologized without anybody asking him to. And then you come sit down with a little piece of paper in front of you looking all stupid, talking about you want 48 hours apology and you assess damage. Cut it out, Machina. Cut it out, because you don't understand what we depend. And every single Jamaican who not understanding what this movement is about, and it's for you and your children and your grandchildren and the future, and if you're not understanding it, we're going to come out here and we're going to thump up. So understand me, Machina. Back off. Back the hell off. Vegas apologize, and I will not hesitate, Machina. With all due respect to you, I don't know you. I am already upset with you that as a young woman you take on to represent a serial pedophile. I'm already upset with you about that. But you have to eat. You have to pay your bills. I do understand that. But when you come now a pile on from Vegas after him apologize already, and you come talk about you need a next apology in 48 hours and talk about assessing damages, Dayton must have given you at least $250,000 just to say that. Or just to say, for him to say, him hire a lawyer. Take that and go home, Machina. Because things are heating up out here. This is an election. And anything that anyone come out here with, we will consider it an interference in the normal, natural election process of this country. And we're going to just go on bad about it. And if you think we go on bad already, you don't see nothing yet. Because this is a war. This is where the commanders them line up the whole of us and say, yeah, we are going on the beach of Normandy. Who ready? Who willing to die? Who ready for going on those boats? And let us go down to the south of France and land on the beach of Normandy and go see if we can find some Nazis to kill. Who willing to go? Me, sir. First hand up. So, Machina, don't do it. Don't push this luck thing with Vegas. He apologized. He apologized to that stupid, nasty idiot, man. He apologized. What else do you want from him? You are talking about sue, you are talking about apology again. What's wrong with you? Accept the apology. Collect your $250 and go your yard to see if you get a next case. Don't push it, Machina. Don't get yourself mixed up in this nastiness out here, sir. It's rough out here. It rough, Sheena. It rough your family not when me please. It rough. It rough. I mean, I know which one of the bloggers would be willing to take it easy on you, but certainly not me. So tonight, I am just saying to you, Sheena, put a cork in it. Put a cork in it, man, and call it a day. Don't bother with that foolishness. And leave Mr. Vegas alone. He apologized. He's a gentleman. He apologized. Mr. Vegas is not a pedophile. But they ever accuse him or see him with an underage picnic. So Vegas is a respectable fellow. You know? With wife and children, and wife now look for lick him down because he have up no extra mark. Anyway, I say that. I don't know. I'm just defending Mr. Vegas here. Now, one of the reasons why I decided not to change my plans for the live, in spite of the PJ coming out here, come get himself in all kind of mix up and belittle himself and make himself look like a damn ass. In spite of all of that, I decided not to change my life. And one of the main reasons that I decide not to change what I have to talk about. It's not only Dayton Campbell, but Justice Panton, my guy, my fellow, the love of my life, Justice Panton, Justice Seymour, the pastor. Him is the main reason that I have to stick to this life. The civil society people, the 5 of them in the next group and the 5 of them over the next group, NIA and JFJ, 5 of them each, them don't represent nobody, 5 people in each of them organization. Them only talk or say something when something hot happen and them want to insert themselves and come on TV and get to come in the news and people say, yeah, see them there, civil society, them attack, hey. But when that done, them go back in with them 5 people and the whole for hundreds of millions of dollars where them get in them organizations, we don't see them trying to organize the best thing that PJ ever did for this country was values and attitudes. Going around the country talking about values and attitudes. Them should go do some of that and just stop get involved in the politics and stop chat. Because the only time they have to say something regarding civil society is when it has to do with the politics. What is wrong with you? You check say everybody out here are dunce and everybody's stupid and have no sense and you just come out and chat foolishness. One came out and talk about plugging the loopholes in the political financial system. Now she need to tell me which loophole she talk about. What loophole are you talking about in the political financial system that needs to be plugged? Which one? Because as far as I know, there are no loopholes. And then you are calling the 2 political parties to get together to solve problems because that is an MO. You think everybody are idiot. You cut it out. Because everybody not idiot. Want to come out, come give out statement about 2 must come together and work out something and let us hold hands and sing kumbaya and they will say praise the Lord. I would drink some syrup and eat some bread and all is well. That don't work anymore. That don't work anymore. Only politics time when you come out and you don't come out for the country. You don't do nothing for the country. Civil society. Not a thing. You make noise when there's something to make noise about. What else? If we don't get taxpayers' money, we would have probably war already, you know. But we're getting all kind of international money. What would not do with it? What would not do with it? Yesterday I was sitting in my shop and the place busy. A whole heap of police walking in the community with a whole heap of people walking with them. And to my surprise, it was the senior superintendent for the Dwayne Park Police Station, Superintendent Gardner, and he was walking with a team of people. I don't remember them. There's Jesus, I have the thing, I don't know what I do with it. But him have a committee, action committee that him set up in the community, where the community and the police can work together. And them walking through the various communities, inviting people to come not only join the committee, but them having this gospel concert down by Jews Avenue Primary School. And he came in the shop and he had this long discussion with me about it. And Minister Chang, the Dwayne Park Police Station only have 1 vehicle. Do better than that, no man. The Dwayne Park Police Station, out of all the stations in St. Andrew South, can boast the lowest crime rate. Give them 2 vehicles, man. 1 vehicle can't work. And that 1 vehicle serve as far as Plantation Heights, Superintendent Gardner told me. I didn't even know that. So if that 1 vehicle up by Plantation Heights, 6 o'clock one morning, and somebody licked down Smarty right here, so I will hold on pan the man and tell I wait for the police to come. We have to wait till they come for Plantation Heights to come back here. No, Minister Chang, somebody link up Minister Chang. Do the Park Police Station, give them 2 vehicle, man. Don't do that, man. I want to pack down vehicles. Suppose them walk up in the community. Suppose the people with them. Now, civil society. Do some of that. Make yourself useful in the place. And stop walking around and get involved in political things that don't concern you. And then the next civil society person really rile me up. Which is why I'm not changing the life. This is the part. And the next part with Dayton Campbell. When she come say that the gag order, the gag clause in the IC, what is it? The Constitution? What is it, Michelle? The IC thing. Anyway, that gag clause in it, she believes, and she has to speak for herself and the 5 people there, because she's not speaking for nobody else except 5 or 6 of them. She and the other 4, 5 of them. And them she has to speak for. She's not speaking for nobody. Them is no civil society, no over hundreds of people. Them is 5 people. So they must speak for themselves and their own self-interest. And she believes, and she sounds like she want to mark golden people, that the gag clause should be removed to allow the IC to speak freely, so to speak, because the gag clause does not allow them to speak freely. And maybe she's trying to say that to cover up the fact that Justice Panton and his crew was giving Mark Golding information, and because him himself couldn't come out and talk about the information, so because he was giving Mark Golding information, the gag clause should be removed so that Justice Panton can talk anything he wants to talk anytime. Now I want to ask her, I want to say this to her, and I want her to understand me very, very clearly, because one must look at international standards and other countries and how they operate. And one must learn to adapt some of those things, because those are systems that work. Now imagine this, and I'm talking to you, the people listening to me tonight, and will tell me one thing. Imagine this IC, this corrupt IC that has corrupted the name integrity, this one led by Justice Panton. Imagine that they have the right to come out and speak about anything that they are doing anytime that they want. Imagine that. Imagine that Christmas morning, something happen, they might investigate somebody, and something happen with somebody, and Justice Panton come out and say, well, we have this report on this. Imagine that, but don't imagine that just yet, because that's a far-fetched idea. I just want to lead you to what I want you to imagine. Imagine that the IC investigating, say, 4 or 5 politicians from one side of the aisle. One side. Let's say they're investigating 5 politicians from the JLP. There's a reason why I'm using the JLP. And then, in the course of their investigation, the Prime Minister announced elections. And the Prime Minister come out tomorrow morning and he said, elections will be 29 days from today. Keep your imagination with me. Still with me? Stay with me. Imagine that after the Prime Minister announced that, couple days after, a week after, 4 days before the election, 5 days before the election, Justice Panton then come out and announce that him charging those 5 MPs for something. Imagine that. You know what that is? That is election interference. That would be considered interfering in a free and fair election. So if you're going to remove the gag clause and don't put in back some structure like saying, all right, we're removing the gag clause, but 1 year prior, before an election, none of them can say nothing until after the elections. She could suggest something like that, but you want a blanket removal of the gag clause to give Justice Panton and his crew a wild run with the Integrity Commission and finish corrupt the system and finish corrupt the country and send us off into this phase where people just believe that everything we do as a country has some connotation of corruption to it because of UNO. What is wrong with you, woman? You don't have a school. You don't have no sense. You're talking about remove gag clause. So that just, let me remind you of something. Michelle, is we trying to say we remove the gag clause? Please send and tell me. I don't remember if it's the NIA or the JFG. I think it's the JFG, if I'm not mistaken. If you remove that gag clause and give the Integrity Commission that freedom to do what they want, anytime they want, say what they want, it could easily create an impression of election interference if they decide to announce something in an election year, in an election season, when the campaign, in the height of campaign, bam! How many days before the election? I'm trying to remember. Was it a couple of days, weeks before the election, that Jim Comey called big press conference to announce that him reopening back the investigation with Hillary Clinton. Called press conference, and that helped shift the election. Is it election interference? You can't have that kind of rogue IC already corrupt, already running rogue, and then you want to give them the power to speak whenever they want. Let me remind you of something that Justice Panton did. And the reason why I have to stay with the life as it is. Justice Panton's term of office is coming to an end. I don't know if it's this month or next month or the month after, but it's coming to an end. And Justice Seymour Panton should not be reappointed as head of the IC. Justice Panton should not be reappointed as head of the IC. You don't wonder why I stay and depend Justice Panton and depend this thing, you know. I will address that as well in my PJ thing, because him never want to set up the integrity commission, or him dodge it every step of the way, like a slippery aisle, like a slippery shoe salesman. Him just dodge it every time it come up. Him just say something fancy and moving right along. Justice Panton must not be reappointed. Not only because of the controversies, not only because of the leaking, not only because every time the IC has something to report on or something to do, it ends up that Mark Golding has it before everybody else. Not only that it seems like Justice Panton is working for Mark Golding. Not only that, but here's a major thing why he should not be reappointed. Justice Panton submitted a report to Parliament on January 12, 2023. That report was a report from the investigator. The investigator investigated the Prime Minister's thing, and he reported that he believes the Prime Minister is in breach and should be charged. He recommended in his report that the Prime Minister should be charged. Justice Panton released that report. He released that report. He sent it to the Parliament, of course. Mrs. Malahufort, or Dalrymple, probably one him hold on point and nobody wouldn't give it up. On the very same day that he released that, he also received a report from the prosecutor, the IC prosecutor. After the investigator is finished, the investigator submits a report, the investigator makes a recommendation, the prosecutor looks at the report, looks at the recommendation, and the prosecutor will now rule on whether to go forward with the recommendation of a charge or not. And that very day, the prosecutor recommended that no charges be brought, that there's nothing in the report that would warrant a charge being brought against the Prime Minister. Nothing in the report. The prosecutor reported not a thing in the report. But what Justice Panton did was send one report to give the impression that the Prime Minister did something wrong and he should be charged, and then he held on to the other report because he think that might look good for Mark. I don't need to go any further with that. The prosecutor report said no charges. There is nothing there to charge. And on the same day, he received those and he kept it. He kept it. He never bothered to, put that forward so we can see it. No, he kept it. Yes, he did. And you talking about removing the gag clause? We don't need to get on the head, wrap around this thing, no, man. Why was so slow, man? I'm nearly 4 years where I do this, It's like, it just go through 1 year and come through the next. So get on yourself, wrap yourself around this, man. Get it going, man. You don't understand, man. What happened to Now, Mark Golding, in his New Year's message, said something curious that caught my eye. And I must tell you that it did catch my eye from New Year's Day when he released his thing. But I thought that I would have to talk about this sometime. So since I saw the police yesterday and Superintendent Gardner and the police trying to work well with the community and creating some kind of link that we can all understand each other and know that they are there to protect us and to serve us, and we are there to also make it easier for them to serve us and to protect us. That is how this thing works. And having had that conversation with Superintendent Gardner yesterday, I thought I'm going to mention what Mark Golding said in his New Year's message, which was divisive and probably targeting the police, and because him feel like him have some kind of feeling or know something, him want to say it. And this is what he said. Mark Golding said in his New Year's message, the police must conduct themselves with absolute professionalism. The police must conduct themselves with absolute professionalism. The nation is relying on you to reject partisanship in the conduct of your duty to serve and protect. And I thought to myself, why is he mentioning the police? He never mentioned the teachers, he never mentioned the nurses, he never mentioned the junior doctors, he never mentioned the firemen, he mentioned the police. And I know that he did it because he want to scare the police, he want to scapegoat them, he want to put the police in a position to say that they are divisive. He want to tell the police that them doing bad things and them not in favor of him, and he want them to do this. It was a careless statement to put in our New Year's message. Careless message to suggest that our police are not professional, and warning them, basically threatening them to say that you better be fear. As if our police have been anything but fear where elections are concerned. I mean, you have some little police and do some little things and make things look bad on the force in general. But we have never had any big excitement that police interfere with our elections. Never ever. Why did he feel a need to say that? To suggest that the police are not professional? To scapegoat them? What is he afraid of? Is something going on over there to know about? And he went on and talk about the police must be professional and all the rest of it. And I thought it to be a curious thing. Now I want to move on. Now those things, the thing with the civil society, and particularly Justice Panton, I want everybody on social media, everybody who have a voice, a Facebook page, to go out there and talk about it. We should not reappoint Justice Panton to lead the IC. We should not reappoint Justice Panton to lead the IC. When I forward this to the Governor General, somebody link him up. Somebody must have a link to the Governor General. Send to him for me now. You can't reappoint Justice Panton as head of the IC. That is going to breed nothing but contempt and problems and mistrust, which already exist and has been created by Justice Panton's behavior and actions. So the Governor General must understand that Justice Panton's behavior and his actions have led to mistrust. We can't trust him. We keep asking ourselves the same question over and over again. How did Mark Golding access those information that gave him the authority to come talk about illicit sex? Where did he get it from? Who told him that? Who told him that he could go and say that? Where did he get that? How? I don't have a girl class, Paulo. But Justice Panton feel that him got some power from the parliament, and the power is to do as he pleases. And him let us down. Justice Panton used to be a decent public servant, but him let us down with this IC thing, went after the Prime Minister on a witch hunt. I will never get over it. I'm telling you, I will never get over it. Never. I don't know if we're thinking about it and looking at it, you know. This is an integrity commission that we have been trying to set up for ages, you know. PJ rejected it outright, you know, because of his own corrupt practices. I mean, institutionalized corruption. So I couldn't deal with that IC. So they want no IC at all. Not at all. They never want the IC. And we finally got one under Holness administration. Pusha wanted it, but she got some pushback from the very said people in the PMP. And finally we get it. And we thought that when it was established, this noble judge, whose name has rung throughout all quarters of Jamaica, every second person that got to court for something had Justice Panton. And Justice Panton disappointed us and let us down. He orchestrated in Mark Gold in a witch hunt to go after the country's Prime Minister. He let us down. He should not be reappointed. I know everybody wants to talk about PJ thing today, but I want you know to understand that the very foundation of our democracy hinged on this. I mean, it hinges on this. Because if we are to combat, and we can say with no excitement about corruption, but if we are to combat moral and ethical behavior of our political and of our public servants, we must have the best people who we have 100% trust in, that they will not let us down. We must have those people, and those people do exist, but Justice Panton is not it. It cannot be reappointed. He should not be reappointed. And that is my point about that. Now I want to address Minister Desmond McKenzie. Now, Minister McKenzie, you know, I'm willing to say that because I read this thing in the Gleaner, it might very well not be true. Because the Gleaner is a Mark Golding newspaper. It is an activist newspaper that is on some kind of political agenda, because Mr. Matalan see where Mark Golding can be his meal ticket to carry him back to the PJ era of political and institutionalized corruption. And Mr. Matalan has signed on to Mark Golding. So I'm inclined not to believe what the Gleaner said, Minister Desmond McKenzie. But the Gleaner did say that you were down at area, whatever council meeting, 1 or 2, and you were talking about Ralph Brown and Michael Manley using Central Kingston as a meal ticket. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Desmond McKenzie. Desmond McKenzie is one of those politicians that I have always admired. I tell you this with no water in my mouth. Always admired. When Desmond McKenzie was mayor, when he became mayor, and he got sworn in that bright, flashy suit that black men that come from humble beginnings, as soon as them get a look for them start wear them bright, flashy suit. I don't know if it's a thing with them. I don't know. And I said, what a colorful character. Colorful. I watched him take on the United States representatives here in Jamaica when they build them big embassy up a Hope Road there, and they was following the rules, and I watched him took them on. And I look at Desmond McKenzie and I see him as my ideal politician who came into representational politics, want to represent people, want to help people, and want to elevate himself. There's nothing wrong with that. That is how it should be. You should come into politics, want to help and serve people. And while you're doing that, you elevate yourself as well. You should. And I watched Desmond did that. I watched him handle himself as mayor. He never accomplished much, but he bluster so much you think him achieving a whole heap of things. And we need that kind of politician. Because that kind of politician gives us a kind of and I say hope, but gives us a kind of belonging. So to speak, the ordinary person get a sense of belonging when them see them mayor up and about, a go on bad over something that some Tapanaris did, or a go on bad about something that some Tapanaris friends did, and they believe that them can get away with it, and I'm never afraid to take them on about it, and I have admired him since. He became minister of government and he's not mayor anymore, and I don't know if moving from local representation to MP status mean that he believes that he does not represent people anymore, represent the Prime Minister. Because members of Parliament and ministers of government tend to forget that sometimes. Them only member of Parliament when them CDF come and when the Christmas thing for go and when them for check some people and then for get re-elected. But otherwise them behave mostly like, ministers of government other than representatives of the people. And them believe that this is two different things. So Desmond probably believe that he represent Mr. Holness and represent Jamaican Labour Party and don't represent the country anymore. But I have admired him seriously and like him for all that he represented when he was mayor. And it is amazing that it's those things that people remember about you that keeps them supporting you because of the impression that you made on them in the first instance. So I like Desmond. Now, you can understand my disappointment when he put Michael Manley and Ralph Brown and said that they use Central Kingston as their meal ticket. Because the first thing is Michael Manley never need a meal ticket. It was Michael Norman Joshua Manley. Him is Norman Manley's son. Him daddy had it all. Him mother was a world-renowned sculptress. Him never need no meal ticket. But Michael Manley was kind of somewhat like Desmond too, but a lighter skin version. A robber rouser, man who go to half a tree, go take off him shirt and go out with pair things and black road out of JBC and go out with pair things and go down Hero Circle, go sit down and have all night vigil and eat bread and butter and tea and I go like we had him there on the same level and we loved it. So that was Michael Manley. So he never need to use nobody as a meal ticket. But the most disappointing thing is using Ralph Brown as a man who used Central Kingston as a meal ticket. Because Desmond, Ralph Brown and you came from the same social status. Ralph Brown was a barely can read and write man, very limited education, pulled himself up by bootstrings and decided that he was going to represent people. He became a councillor. He was mayor too, I do believe. And then he became a member of Parliament. Him is you, them time there. He was you, them time there. Minister McKenzie. Him was you, Ralph Brown, Desmond McKenzie. You are the Ralph Brown version of the time there. You don't understand the history, you don't read. I'm sure you know about Ralph Brown, you were mayor. I don't understand it. You have to go make me understand it because I didn't come out here to compose you. Because I like you. And I admire you. And you don't cuss out people you like and admire. Sometimes I do, but it is with tough love. But I want you to explain to me how you get there, sir. That you would regard Ralph Brown, a man that coming from the same place where you are coming, maybe not from the same area, maybe not from the same household, the same kind of upbringing, the same kind of struggle, the same kind of everything, and reach a particular station in life. I can't take a call now, please don't call me. How could you do that? I don't get it. So I want to know, as I said, I am willing to say a lie about help by you because it's the gleaner I saw it in. And I mean, my face dropped, my heart sink when I saw it. Not that you only are sully up Michael Manley name. Don't sully up Michael Manley name, man. Michael Manley was Norman's son. And all Michael Manley ever wanted. Michael Manley pretty much dead poor, you know. Michael pretty much dead poor, never poor, but, for the stature that he had, he should have died with really more money, but he never did. Because Michael Manley was a man who took on the struggle upon himself want to help a ton load of people that he has not met. Want to build up and lift up a ton load of people to make their lives better. People him don't know. That is how leaders, great leaders operate, and that's what Michael Manley wanted. He just wanted a bunch of things for a bunch of people that him don't know. He wanted free education. Yeah, he wanted land lease. He wanted Jamal. He just wanted a whole bunch of things for a whole bunch of people that he did not meet. He did not know. How could you add that to his name and his legacy? Meal ticket? Are you serious? Come on, Desmond. You have to tell me that you never said that. You have to tell me you never said that. Please tell me you never said that. I don't get it. It is despairing to me. I look at your life and I look at Ralph Brown's life, and it's an identical life. Two lives is one. It's the same thing. I look at Michael, who inspired us. Yeah. A whole heap of things that can be said about what happened and what we never get. But he inspired us. He motivated us. He lifted us up. Why would you say something like that about him? I don't get it. It is baffling to me that you'd want to do that to Michael Manley. You can lick down Ronnie Twaits. Him use Central Kingston as a meal ticket. Now that would be a powerful argument for you to make. But I know sometimes in the heat of campaigning and in the desire to make one point more powerful than the other, and a desire to get the yay and the ray and the clap and the vevezul and the bell ringing, I know that sometimes in the heat of that, we all say things that we don't normally mean. So I want to believe that you didn't mean that. Matter of fact, I want to believe first that you never said it. And then after that, I want to believe that you never mean it if you said it. I hope not. But if you did, and if you meant it, I am calling you out and tell you it was a wrong thing to do. You should not have done it. And you should take it back. Not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And you should take it back. Not a good thing at all. Maybe that's not a note I should end on with that to go into the next note. Because I see Angela Bromberg in a parliament talking to some people, talking about somebody bullying her. And she will not be bullied. And she don't want them bully her. And then up off her fender. Now listen to me, people. I want you to listen to me very carefully. And I want you to spread the word and do not do this. Alright? Just spread this word that I'm saying to you right now. Don't bully Angela Bromberg. Whoever it is in the parliament bullying Angela Bromberg, don't bully her. So stop it. Don't bully Angela Bromberg. Hop off Angela Bromberg fender. You know why I want them to do all of that? Angela have a whole heap of things to worry about. Most of which is her wardrobe. Clothes she wear. When I hop off Angela Bromberg fender and do a bully her. I mean, look at her when she was saying it. She have more problems to worry about, man. Stop the bullying. She have to worry about her wardrobe. She have to worry about her hair. She have to worry about her broom. I mean, stop it. Why the bullying? Stop it, man. Don't bully Angela. Apart from the woman, Fender, man. Fender, I thought it was a broom. Witches have bike? How witches get Fender? Isn't that supposed to be a broom? Somebody help me out here. Witches have... Anybody know a witch with a broom? With a fender, with a bike? With a fender? I don't know. I don't know no witch. Apart from Angela Fender, man. Stop bully Angela. Because she have a whole lot of things on her mind. There's her wardrobe. There's her constituency. Yeah? There's the fact that she is Mark Golden spokesperson on international affairs, and nobody in international affairs don't talk to Angela. So she have a whole heap of things, man. Apart from the woman Fender. And do a bully the woman. Alright? Don't do that. Now last week, when we spoke about Dayton Campbell. The people on Eastern Westmoreland, they have all kind of meetings on Eastern Westmoreland, talking about how him full of a controversy, how him contentious. Every minute, every Monday morning, you wake up, him a sue Smaddy, and Tuesday morning, two Smaddy a sue him. I mean, a whole heap of meetings and discussion taking place on Eastern Westmoreland. Them tired of him. Them tired of the open nights. They never have nobody with mix up. So the man coming like a woman. You know, so I was privy to a meeting conversation, and there was a phone open for me to listen to. And this man, I said, the man coming like a woman. And then it appears to me, based on what I hear, that the man turned to his wife and said, well, some woman. Him say that, him say, the man coming like a woman with a chat and a lob him mouth, and then him say, well, some woman, and I'm imagining that him probably turned to him right and left and see him woman, and realize that him going to sleep under the bed, so him better change, and him change. So, them a quarrel with Dayton Campbell, talking about all kind of things about him. Them a cuss him. Them a want him in them constituency. So one man say, bad as things be, nobody never hear Luther and no mix up. As bad as things be, nobody never hear Luther and nobody a sue. But he rat, let them go on. What wrong with the brother, man? What wrong with him, man? Tell him to come out of place here, man. Man, this a come down with him sue, and people are sue him, and him a sue people, and him have controversy, and him have mix up, and him just a load up himself, and him just a chat, and him a mash up things, him just a want to him. There you go. Last week, I was forced to address him. I addressed him because he went on stage, a platform, and he said that in 2021, they were trying to destroy my character. That was tiresome. They were trying to destroy my character. But he never said it was a lie. They were trying to destroy my character. So when he said that, I had no choice. None whatsoever. Because I him bring it up. So I came out here. I spoke about it. And I read you a letter from one of the young women. One of the letters that we submitted, one of the statements that we submitted to the court from a young woman who said that he sexually abused her when she was underage. Now, after I did that, like clockwork, he went out and him gathering people them and them start do things. One person went and looked for the cleaner report, which said that I paid the $750,000, and she tagged me with it. Somewhere out in WhatsApp group, putting out stuff about Sue and fine that I paid. And they were out in numbers, asking us if we pay Dayton Campbell in money yet. So I am obligated to come back out here tonight and set something straight again. All right? And if anybody knows Judge Althea Jarrett and Judge Hartines, tag them up. That's them two judges. Them two there. Instead of him backing himself up and go, you know, deal with him I deal with, he decided that he must send them come out here, come rehash things and thinking that them going to be hurting me about this and about that, and I don't know what else was going on in their heads. But clearly, they thought they would come out and rattle me. And I wonder to myself, what exactly these people drinking? Because that's not how you rock people. Because they don't get it that this is a war. And it is not a war that I went out and look. It is a war that was brought to me. I tried to do the right thing. I did. I tried. And the evidence is there to show that I tried to do the right thing. I tried to do the right thing for my country, and I tried to do the right thing for my party. I tried. I warned Mark Gold in a phone call not to make him General Secretary because he is slimy and filthy. And Mark Gold tell me that him and him is simpatico. And them things they say long time, but you don't know if them things they are true. I tried. I wrote a 1-paragraph letter to John Jr., who was in charge of whatever committee that was at the time. And I said to him, this is what I know to be true. And my expectations were simple. The only expectation I had was for John Jr. to link me back 1 or 2 days later and say, bring one of them girls, come a party headquarters or come to somewhere. That's the only expectation I had. For somebody, it might not be John, but somebody to say, Karen, we see where you're right. We're going to need for you to line up 1 or 2 of them young ladies and bring them come. I waited for 10 days. Nothing. Then I wrote to the executive. And I outlined it in detail. Because at that time, it dawned on me that nothing is going to be done. So I detailed it. And the entire world got a hold of it. And it became a big thing. Blew up into a major story. It led to them not doing anything about what I've said about him. Nothing. The women in there was gathering around him and surrounding him and protecting him. The women, none of them stood up for any of these girls. And then he decided to sue me. Because the only way for him to shut it down and not face the consequences of it is to sue me. So he did. He issued a warning for me to go apologize and rescind and take back, and me tell him to go F himself in big bold letters on Facebook. Days after him said that I tell him to go F himself. They bring me up in front of disciplinary committee, which was a sham. Mark Golding people, them a little sham committee with Stacey Dayton, Zulika Jess and Colin Hitchman. But I went. Them was a sham. Then I wouldn't stop. I thought if I just go harder, they would listen. But they didn't. So, in their final retaliation, they decided to expel me from my 40+ years of service to the People's National Party. And they did. And then, the one and only thing that broke my heart into pieces was when Dayton Campbell decided that I'm going to throw out my groups then. And in throwing out my groups, in throwing out the group that my mother formed, the first PMP group in this community that she was chairman of until she died. He threw that out. My mother, who gave more service to the PNP than him, Mark Golding and Peter Mountain and Angela Bromberg combined, him threw it out. Threw out my mother group. The group that she formed. Then him threw out the group that my mother formed in the name of Tony Spalding, who came to my yard, pushed the zinc fence open, and asked Miss Audrey, "Morning, me look for Miss Audrey." My mother sat down on the ackee tree on the bench and read her newspaper. She said, "I'm me, sir." And him sat down and introduced himself and tell her what he want to do. And that's how Jewsland became Jewsland. My mother, with a little team of people, ensure that everybody get piece of land, everybody build a toilet. She walk up and down to make sure everybody dig a toilet, you know, before they put up kitchen. My mother, Tony Spalding, Carl Russian Thompson, A.J. Nicholson, Mina Wilmot, and this man and his crew removed my mother group off of the list after them expelled me. The expulsion is good. Me no problem with the expulsion. But he took my mother group off the list. And after he did that, he took the list, he took the group that she formed and named after Tony Spalding. And then, after he did that, one of our most noted comrade in the community, Jack Lyons, dirty landlord, him call himself, a real character, a nasty piece of character, real terrible person sometimes. But we loved him. We loved him to pieces. All the women love him. The other day, just the other day, I said my daughter make several trips out the gate. Look, so who you look for? She'll look for somebody to go buy tampons for her. I put out her story. And she sat down when she find Richie. And Richie come back about 2 times because him don't know the brand. She lament, she said, "Lord Jesus, my Miss Jacko." Because him go buy them something that him know everybody brand. Him and nobody could agree. Every day him and somebody quarrel. Me and him quarrel, him and everybody quarrel. But at the end of that quarrel is our Jacko. And we love him. And when him drink and get drunk, and sister and Lily, them drag him in and them take him up and them carry him out and them lock the door and them put a padlock on the door outside. Say him can't come out until him wake up next. And we check on him, them check on him. And Jacko died. And when Jacko died, we sat down with Patrick Roberts and we said, we need to name a PNP group of a Jacko. Because Jacko is the only PNP with a big flag. He have every PNP MP t-shirt. And just get up every day, put them on, put him flash around in back pocket and bust up Liberty and Labour rights. And them and him out the road, him and the Labour rights him out the road. And then buy him a drink and him cuss. And we loved him. I missed him. I loved him very dearly. And we said to Patrick, go form a group for Jacko. And Patrick said, yeah, go form a group and name it after Jacko. And the group is everybody that live in a Jacko yard, because Jacko was a dirty landlord. He have the piece of land up there, and that fool every day get up and build up a little boardroom out of the back, build up several boardrooms and rent them out. And him better get him rent when the month end come, because him start drink from the day before him for collect, so that him can war we need to have him money. And then him come down and come tell me who not pay him yet, and then me have to go deal with that. And we forward group for Jacko. And this nastiness, Dayton Campbell, who know nothing about struggle, know nothing about PNP, took off Jacko group off of the list. Took off my mother group, New Signal, Him take off Spalding Boulevard, in Spalding Steppers, named after Tony Spalding. And him take off, oh yes, I found a group in my house. And that group is every one of my mother's grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Chaired by my mother's last child, my sister Susie. Chaired by her Susie husband, and Susie's the secretary. I found that group. Audrey Grant Memorial. New Signal, Spalding Steppers, Audrey Grant Memorial, and Jackal Lyons Memorial. And he took them off. He took them off. And I'm telling you all this. There is nothing. If he intended to hurt me by doing that, he was successful. He couldn't hurt me suing me. He couldn't hurt me expelling me. But if he intended to hurt me by removing my mother's group and Jackal group, he was successful. He was. And so I never stopped going at him. And we end up in court. And every step of the way, the focus of him and his lawyers was to ensure that none of these girls don't show up at court. That was their intention. And in the final analysis, the final play, Judge Althea Jarrett sat in her courthouse that morning and listened to his lawyer. Natalie was the only one who have a lawyer. Me and Michelle not a lawyer. Me and Michelle have to be our own lawyer. And visit with other lawyers and talk with other lawyers who help us. A lot of lawyers help us. When this is truly over, we have to give them a big party. And Natalie lawyer said in the final analysis, he said, "My lady, may I suggest something?" And she said, "Go ahead." And he said, "May I suggest that we get the young ladies to do proper statements?" That was it. That's where we were now. Back and forth with the statements. And he made a bold suggestion. Because in most legal minds agree that the statements were not up to scratch in terms of how they were supposed to actually be outlined in court and lawyer terms. So the lawyer said, "My lady, may I suggest that we get the young ladies to do proper statements?" And he went around some legal thing as to what needs to be done, and he would undertake that. And Judge Jarrett looked at me and said, "Miss Cross, would you agree with that?" "Absolutely, Your Honor," I said. She asked Michelle. Michelle said, "Yes, Your Honor." And when it reached the Dayton Campbell lawyer, she said, "No. We don't want that." And you know, them said the statement, I'm not do good. So I could do them over. So the lawyer suggested I could do them over there. And they said no. And I was flabbergasted by it. I said, why? Why would you not agree? You said I'm not do good and not a good statement and I want them do over. And here is a lawyer who is suggesting that we get them to do the proper statement, and I am agreeing because of me. I forgot to get them to come. And I agree. And you disagree. Why? And his lawyer sat there and told the court that she disagreed. She don't want them to come because even if them come, them now go believe them. And then listen to me. She said to the court, and Natalie and Michelle is there to back me up, and Natalie lawyer. She said to the court, we don't want them to come, because even if them come, we're not going to believe them. His entire defense has been to prevent these young ladies from coming forward. So I run out. Same win case. I don't want them to come. His entire defense. So even when the court offer him an opportunity, which would also give his lawyer a chance to maybe even sit them and meet them, me don't know, but me agree. Let's get proper statement. Huh? Of the 3, I would guarantee 2 was ready to get those proper statements. She said no, and she's acting on his behalf. She's taking instructions from him. She said no. Don't want them to come to court. Because if they come to court, they're going to face him, their abuser. And he would get to face his accusers. But clearly, he don't want to face his accusers. And he wouldn't want to give them the opportunity to face their abuser. And here we are. 3 years later. Don't want to face Jane Brown. Before I read the statement from this other young lady. One Sunday, I was here, and I got a call from Basil Waite. And Basil Waite said, Karen, I'm coming to buy a cornbread. When I come to buy no cornbread, I come to some other thing. I don't know what it is him coming for, but him coming. But I bake cornbread, and cornbread, I said to him, I don't have no cornbread. He said, but I just see you put a bowl of cornbread on Facebook, but say people order them cornbread. I make cornbread by order. I can't just get from Sunday and make cornbread. You have to order it. It's an expensive endeavor. He said, I want one, man. I come, man. I want one. And I squeezed one for him. I took one from somebody who ordered 3. Tell the person them can only get 2. And I put on one for him and he came. And Basil Waite and I sat under my gazebo there, so. I give him cornbread and him want to cut it, so I give him fork and whatever it is. And I give him juice and we sat down. And then he let me know why he actually came. And said, Karen, seriously, them girl and man and stuff. And we talk to him. Then he asked me the question that he really came here to ask. In my letter to John Jr., I said in the letter, there is a 13-year-old girl who was pregnant at the time. And I'm not so certain if he's not responsible. Basil Waite asked me, why did I not include the 13-year-old girl? And I told him the truth. Most people, most of the other girls, and myself, do not believe that is it. Because she have up this other boy. And him seem to have accepted that is his. So it would have made no sense. That would have been too much trouble. Basil Waite left and went to report to those who sent him. And their response to his report, because his report to them was, Karen, I tell a lie. I sit down there and I tell you, Karen, and you know Basil Waite is a sleaze, a real piece of work. You know. slimy and wily and just there. And he reported that he sat there with me and he believed every word I said. And still, Mark Golding kept him. And at the time that PJ decided that he was going to come out, come get himself in a political fray, involve himself in the political fray, when former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, who had very, apart from the Dudus thing, I don't recall any kind of a corruption under his watch, and him not out here running up for him out. Why PJ come out here and run up for him out and him never tell Mark Golding that him shouldn't take Dayton Campbell as General Secretary of Norman Manley Party. So here we go. John Dune did say he can't defend Dayton and him went silent. Letter number 2 from a young lady who said that Dayton Campbell sexually abused her when she was underage. My name is Jane Doe. I know Mr. Dayton Campbell from 2015. Or is that she? That's not the one. That's not the one. This is the one I read last week. All right, here we go. My name is Jane Doe. I swear that between 2014 and 2016, I was having sexual relations with Dr. Dayton Campbell when he was MP for my constituency, Northwest St. Anne. This is St. Anne, you know? I was 15 years old in 2014 when it started. He took me to... All right. Pardon me. He took me to hotels. We also go to Kingston and Manchester and Clarendon to campaign, and we have sex. I met him when he was campaigning to be MP. He came to my house. He helped my mother and come to the community regular. He gave me money all the time. I told Miss Karen Cross about it when we were at a function at the beach in St. Anne. I told her because I was afraid, and he also liked my little sister who lived with my father, and he was doing things to all of us. All right. What this young lady is talking about is this: how we actually came to know what he was doing. It came about in 2016 when Angela Bromberg was struggling to regain her position as vice president of the PNP. And a comrade friend of mine in Northeast St. Anne said to me, I know some voters from Lisa and a constituency, but them live in Northwest. And the comrade set it up for us to go meet with them. And me and Buck and Lana, I don't remember, somebody else was with us. Yeah, Annette. We went down there. And we met with them at this gas station. Where's this? this bar and chicken and jerk place somewhere in a Brownstown there. I think it was, yeah. And we met there. The meeting was to get them to not vote for Lisa Anna and to switch them vote to Angela Bromberg. It wasn't convincing them because the comrade who told us knew that they wanted to vote for Angela. So we went to meet with them. It was about 4 or 5 of them. I am struggling to try to remember how many of them there were. But when we sat around that table, eating pork and drinking rum and stuff, there were 2 young ladies in there, probably mid-20s. There was an elder one, she must be about 30-something. And there was this guy who was like a girly fellow. And we were just having discussion with them. The guy, the little girly fellow, he come from Northwest, and one of the girls come from Northwest. Before we get into the whole thing about voting for Angela, we were just talking to them like how we talk to young people. About them life, about the politics, about everything around them. And, you know, we asked them what am I doing, them telling us and stuff, and then one of them was saying that she was going to do something and she needed some help. And so I said, I didn't go to your MP. And the little girly boy goes up. From Mr. Film action, we know that was a no-no, them now go to them MP Dayton Campbell. Then I ignore him and I said to her, have you ever gone up to the constituency office to try and get some help from the MP? And the girl boy goes up once again, hey! And he started do a thing, you know. And she had joke him. I said, stop it now. She said, no, she not go up there. So I said, why? So I not go up there. And the little girl boy jump up and say, hey! I'm kind of swing and walk away. I wonder what that is about. Now, we never chalk it up to be anything other than everybody trying to get them MP to help them and the MP not helping everybody and everybody can't get help. That's the long and short of it. That's what we chalk it up to be. The elder girl in her 30s say, when the little girly guy get up, in French, she get about 5 minutes, push him and say, my boy gonna push him and she had him gone, you know, them gone do something, get drinks or something. The elder one started to talk to us now. And she tell me that, you know, those things, you know. I said, like what? And she started to talk and I called Lana over back because we carry people like Lana and them and give them a book and pen so they can write things down. That's why we carry them, for them to write stuff down. Because we have to be talking to people. And Lana sat down. And she says because, you know, people have it to have, say, him give people things and him want to have sex with people and stuff, so she now go up them and say, really? That can't be true. As God is my witness. That's what I said to them. Because this was an upcoming star. The PMP. It's hard to believe that. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I know we didn't come back to Kingston that same night. We went further and we came back to Kingston the other day. We went up to Angela when we finished briefing her about our escapades across the country. I said it to her. Has she ever heard that? And she do a thing that said, ha! I'm dealing with my campaign, not dealing with anything now. I'm dealing with my campaign, not dealing with that, not dealing with that. And we left it. Not a big deal. We just left it. Now we have a habit when we go on road. We take people number, people take our numbers, them call us if they need any help. We drive all over the country to help people when we meet them. We do something that we used to do a lot. It's one of my favorite things. Especially when we used to get all food for the poor stuff. We just pack up the vehicle and we just drive and go help people. So one day, months after that, one day we got a phone call from the girl that pushed the boy and, you know, so she now go to Dayton for nothing. She called us and said she having this beach party down by Flavors and she want us to come. And we say, all right, we'll come. And we decided to make a weekend of it. So we are going. While we're there, she had a phone call. And she was frantic with the phone call. It's a fair thing, but She was busy, and I remember me just see her on the phone call, and she was frantic. But Lord of them not leave her, you know. Because of what she tell us, Lord of them not leave her. We'll try to figure out something. And she had gone and a gone. And then a little girl show about 13 or 14 into a taxi. And she had the little girl, she had the little girl back and forth like she quarreled with her. We found out that it's her sister. You know? And I don't know, something of one, and she call her mother to send back her brother to pick up the little girl, and she don't want her down here, and she don't she don't want her here, and she don't down here, and apparently her mother asked her why she can't stay, why she don't want her down there, if she don't want her, she have to work, and she depend the dirty man a come down here, so she don't want her here, because the dirty man a come down here. We never know what she talk about. We did not. We drove back to Trelawney. We drove straight to Trelawney. We left there in the wee hours in the morning and drove to Trelawney. And we're staying in Trelawney. And we told them, the girls, that, you know, we're not going up till Sunday evening, so if they want, them can come down if they just call us and let us know. And they did. They came. And that's where the whole story started to break out. That's where we start getting details about Dayton Campbell's actions and behavior in Northwest St. Anne. That's where it started. That's where it started. And the rest is history from them. They told us everything. Them call other people on the phone and we talk to them and them tell us everything. So we know what he was doing. I knew what he was doing. And I exposed him. And this young lady said, I swear that between 2014 and 2016, I was having sexual relations with Dr. Dayton Campbell when he was MP for my constituency in Northwest St. Anne. I was 15 years old when it started. He took me to hotels. We also go to Kingston and Manchester and Clarendon to campaign, and we have sex. I met him when he was campaigning to be MP. He came up to my house. He helped my mother come to the community regular, gave me money all the time. I told Miss Karen Cross about it when we met at the function. Told her because I was afraid. Because he also liked my other sister. That is why she was sending home the picnic. Because that picnic knows no more than 13. But she big. You know them big 13-year-old, you know, them picnic there. Them look full. He also liked my other sister who lived with my father. And he was doing things for all of us. Miss Karen said I was not old enough to make the decision to have sex with him because I was underage. And this is the picnic. Letter number 2. And let me remind you, that him sending people them out to come beat me up, so to speak. I thank you all so very much for tolerating me tonight. Thank you all for joining me so much. We're going on our tour. We're to visit some places, including Eastern Westmoreland. But we'll see where I go on. And I'm going to, at some point, before this election is called, venture into Northwest St. Anne. See if I can go link up some old friends. We have asked those of you who said that you want to contribute to the trip, go right ahead and contribute. Contact Michelle Stern, or you have the information already, those of you who have. Want to thank those who have contributed already. Last week I had a pleasant surprise when one of my subscribers and viewer, a fan, actually drove here and came here to see me. That was pleasant. Very nice lady. I had the pleasure of meeting. She contributed to our efforts. And it was nice. It was pleasant. people come to see me all the time. Most of the people that know me are known, but she never know me, I never know her. So this was particularly pleasant. Hello, Anne. I know you're watching. So that's it. Thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and please do keep the children safe.